Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Puffinstein, aka Spankdog, at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. BC Spankdog on Instagram. I missed you guys. You know what I'm saying? Got caught up in a little stuff I had to take care of or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was going through a little bit of a illness. You know what I'm saying? I missed you guys. You know what I'm saying? I was used to coming on every day. But life takes a hold of you sometimes, And big shout out to Jeff Morris on my Facebook account. I just seen a picture of him, and he's in the hospital, and I just want to wish him well wishes, and I hope he gets better soon. All right, so today we got a specific Karen I'm going to introduce you to. I'm going to make the first stream back quick and to the point, so this way I get back in the groove. So we're going to jump straight ahead to the specific Karen that I'm talking about, because she's the worst. Big shout out to Exposed and Fired. All right, so you know how I am. I'm going to go straight to the subscribe because I enjoyed his video. And then I'm gonna hit him with a thumbs up. The other day I talked to my wife and I told her, I said, my channel is about doing good, period. And I usually try to keep it on some positive stuff, but when you gotta expose somebody who's miserable and what she puts this person through, it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let it rock right now so you guys could be introduced to Trisha.
I didn't see what happened. I don't know, but I don't want you to be using that word again. I know that you're upset. We could offload you if you're going to keep saying those words. But you
I was telling you what was being said.
So apparently, Charlotte Chung, a voice actor of Diva from Overwatch, gets on a WestJet flight.
The person sitting on the chair like that, I thought was the person telling the person behind them to stop kicking the chair, but that's actually the Karen sitting in the chair right there.
And that's when the man behind her in seat 2A started pushing and hitting her seat. And this wasn't just some accidental bump, because the pushing went on for over 20 minutes.
All right, so the lady that was being harassed is not even in the picture right now. The man to the back with the glasses is also a Karen, a Kevin, whatever you want to call him. So we got Karen right here, Kevin right here. The lady that was harassed, you're gonna see her in a second.
So naturally, Charlotte turns around to see what's going on, and guess what this guy says? Oh, just chill. F off. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, let's pause it on him because I want you guys to see this guy's face. He is the epitome of somebody that would lie on you, no problem, curse at you. From what I seen right here, he's, at least in this moment, he was despicable.
Charlotte, obviously shocked, asked him, excuse me?
All right, this is the woman, right? So she's sitting, she paid extra money for a better seat, and the guy starts kicking the back of her chair. When she tells the stewardess decides to side with the guy who's harassing her, because when she tells the stewardess what the guy said, it contained a curse word in it. So when she repeats what he said, she has to use a curse, and the stewardess starts getting on her case for using the curse word that the man used against her. It's really idiotic. You'll see right now.
And instead of owning up, the guy flat out denies it. This guy casually neglected any sense of reason, and instead of explaining himself, decided to ruin someone's day. So at this point, Charlotte calls over a flight attendant named Trisha, thinking she'd step in and sort things out. No. Instead of addressing the guy's behavior, Trisha immediately turns on Charlotte and asks, do we have a problem here? Do we need to open the gate? Like, what? Charlotte tries to explain what happened, but Trisha just gets agitated and tells her to move seats. When Charlotte doesn't move right away, because why would she? I mean, it's her seat and she paid for that extra leg room for a reason. Trisha threatens to call the captain and have her removed from the plane.
How do you tell a stewardess somebody was kicking the back of your chair for 20 minutes? Instead of saying, okay, I apologize, he curses her. She in turn calls the stewardess and says, look, the guy was kicking me, and when I told him something, he said F off. Instead of saying, oh wow, he said that to you, she goes, could you please stop saying that word? And she's like, wait, but I'm trying to tell you what he said to me. If you're that, offended by me saying it, just repeating what he said, then you should really be upset with him.
At this point, Charlotte feels like she has no choice. She moves, trying to avoid getting deplaned and risking missing her baby's birthday that same week. But this is just the beginning of what turns into a 4.5-hour nightmare.
Talk about abuse of power. Now, that's the last female you would want to see be a police officer. Because if she acts like this because she could get you deboarded, imagine what she'd do if she had the power to unalive you or arrest you and put you in a cell.
Trying to avoid getting deplaned and risking missing her baby's birthday that same week. But this is just the beginning of what turns into a 4.5-hour nightmare for the voice actress.
You just told me to f off and now you're getting me to move? Am I getting moved right now?
So the captain is aware of what's going on right now.
Sure.
We have moved you over here. Thank you for moving.
Yeah.
That should solve everything. I didn't see what happened. I don't know.
She just took her out of her more expensive seat and made her move to a less expensive seat because she threatened to have her kicked off the plane and she would have missed her baby's birthday.
No, but I don't want you to be using that word again. I know that you're upset.
Could you please ask him not to use that word?
Yes,
to me
I will
too?
speak with him. But
Thank you. I appreciate
as
that.
I see right now that you've been cursing, and I don't want anything to be a trouble here, okay?
Okay.
So he is aware of it,
Okay.
and we could offload you if you're going to keep saying those words.
Okay. Are you going to offer him the same situation?
She just said offload her like she's a package.
Well, he seems to be compliant right now. I didn't hear anything.
As I am too, as I moved over here.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. And there's not going to be any more issues, right?
Is there? I don't think so. I hope not.
Because we can go back to the gate.
Okay.
Okay? You want to
They were done talking about it. It's like she wants to make sure that she feels like she won the stewardess. You know what I'm saying?
go to LA?
I do. I want to see my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of problems in this clip, but first,
Female
why
bozo.
exactly is the flight attendant Trisha speaking to Charlotte like she's a 5-year-old kid? I mean,
You heard the narrator right there, right? I'm talking to her like she's a 5-year-old kid. This is a true Karen. Like, my channel is strictly about keeping it official, being a good person. I could be vicious, you know, but I don't like to take the route where, you know, I show you how I used to be. You know what I'm saying? But some people just don't deserve no respect. You get what I'm saying? In order to get respect, you got to give respect.
tone of the conversation, the words coming out of her mouth, the repeated threats? Come on, this is ridiculous. But you'd think she'd extend the same demeanor to the other party involved in this issue, the man in 2A, right? Well, you and I are both wrong because the complete opposite happened.
This is her kissing up to the guy who was harassing the lady. Like, this had me puzzled. I couldn't believe that that was the stewardess sitting like that with her knees in the chair like that, kissing up to the guy who started the confrontation. And he's really not a good person. You'll see in a second. These are the two people that I did this for. So you could meet Kevin and you could meet Karen. And if you see them, keep your distance.
Yeah, we just saw the same thing. The same Trisha who was hostile towards Charlotte just a minute ago is seen giggling and wiggling her legs like a happy school child talking to her bestie. Utmost professionalism, I must say. But it gets even worse for Charlotte from there on out. Trisha noticed Charlotte recording and confronted her. I'm going to read Charlotte's notes from this exact frame because it's honestly blowing my mind. I stopped recording out of fear. This is when she aggressively said, "Why are you filming? Why are you causing more problems?" To which I quietly answered that I'm not. She then blocks me from going to the restroom. I have to ask her several times to please let me go use the restroom. So what I'm getting here is that to Trisha, the man telling Charlotte to f off isn't causing any problems, but Charlotte recording the situation as evidence is? That's somehow the bigger issue.
So we've exchanged photos today. I've got mine for my report that I'm going to be sending to you.
Do you have a problem with me? Is everything
I
okay?
do. I do have a problem with
I
you
was
because you were
the
being
one being
irate.
cursed at, and I was
You were the one
reaching out.
cursing.
I was telling you what was being said to me.
I know, but you could.
I was telling you what was being said to me. I was telling you what was being said to me. I was reaching out for help.
I know, but we could have handled this in a more civil situation.
How is it civil when I'm being cursed at? His own wife was looking at me like she was feeling bad.
I heard you cursing.
I was telling you what was being said to me, and I said, he's telling me to f off. I never said anything to him. He told me to f off. And I said,
that's exactly what you were
yes,
saying,
and I said to him,
do you really need to
She gets so hung up that she's repeating what the guy said. Like, she gets so hung up. Like, listen to what she says right now.
I do, because I need evidence of this. This is ridiculous because I'm being blamed for something. He was kicking and pushing my chair. I looked back and said, oh, chill out, off. And I said, excuse me, did you just tell me to f off?
Okay, you don't need to keep saying it. We have other people on the plane and they don't want to hear that.
Why are you not telling him not to tell me to f off? Is it illegal for me to repeat to you what
This is not being a good person. This is being a horrible person. For the lady that got violated, because she's violating her right now. She's trying to get to her baby so that she could get to the birthday party. She was the one having her chair kicked, and she was the one that was cursed at. Yet Trisha here decides to make her the bad guy. And then watch what happens coming up.
What I was
for you
told?
to be belligerent and
I'm being a belligerent.
You were being an unruly passenger.
I was being an unruly
Yes,
passenger. You then come over because you heard the f off. He looks like, no, I didn't. I just told her to chill. So first of all, he lies. So of course I'm irate from that. Can you understand that? Because he's lying. I turn around and I say to him, you're lying. You told me to f off. And then you then proceeded to offer me a seat. And I said, this is my seat. I paid for this seat. I'm okay. I want to sit here. And when I proceeded to not move over to this seat, I'm going to get you deboarded or offboarded. Why is it that I'm being blamed when he was kicking and pushing my chair? I looked back, honestly, not mad, just to see what was happening. And he told me to f off. I think your bias is showing. This is discriminatory.
Can't tell really if it's because of her race, but I wouldn't put it past her. I wouldn't be shocked if it is.
Thing I've done outside of, I was looking to you for what was happening.
Then you got to put your kids first, because in my head I'm like, I would have told her, you know what, F you, F this plane, I'm ready to wild out in here, whatever, and which you shouldn't do because you don't want to give them any ammunition. But I'm a little different than most. I want her to be exposed. I want people to see this lady, and I want her to see the other. I want you guys to see the other guy too. Watch what happens when they get off the plane.
What he was saying to me. I never even cursed at him. I never cursed at you. I just told you what was happening. And because you were upset before you got onto the phone, I was like, okay, I will. So I moved over. I moved over to the seat. This is not my.
That's crazy. I wouldn't have moved. I would have made an issue. But you know what? She in order to get back to see her child and her birthday, her child's birthday, she did the right thing. I probably would have been acting off of emotion. I don't know what I would have done if I was there. I might not have lost my cool. You can undermine people, especially people like this. She's not the brightest bulb in the pack.
That's my seat. I should be sitting there. You know that. But you moved me over, making me out to be the threat. Why are you being biased in a situation that you yourself said you were not a part of? You said that. You didn't hear anything, but for some reason you took their side. And after that, I asked you, right? I asked you, hey, are you going to talk to them about this too? Because why am I being threatened to be offboarded? And you said yes. Later on, you go and speak to them. They touch your arm. You guys are smiling. You're having some sort of friendly conversation, which is obviously not the same type of attitude you had towards me.
What happened? I asked his side of the story, and he said he was just trying to put something under the seat. Okay, so how about we just separate you guys? We all want to go to LA. We want to get to where we want to go peacefully. This whole road.
That's not the attitude you had.
Listen, it's a tall man. It's small seats.
And he cursed at me. And what you were supposed to do.
Maybe he did. Okay, maybe he did.
Why am I being moved? He lied to you.
I have just one question. Why is Trisha trying so hard to make excuses for this man? Why?
Do you understand that, Trisha? It's Trisha, right?
Okay.
It's Trisha, right?
Maybe she's attracted to the guy. Who knows? She's definitely showing him favoritism without knowing the situation.
Maybe he did.
It's Trisha?
Maybe he did. Okay, maybe he did.
Can you tell me your name again? It's Trisha,
yes,
right?
It's Trisha.
I'm Charlotte.
Now,
and you were supposed to speak to him.
I did speak to him.
We're supposed to look out for each other. So my way for looking out for the lady who got wronged right here is by doing a live about Trisha and Kevin. I don't know his name. You know, I seen this already, but you're gonna see his name. We're gonna put them on blast. This is for all the people that go through trouble on planes with rude people, whether it's the person taking your ticket, whether it's the people checking your baggage, whether it's a stewardess. For all you people that went through something because there was a real piece of crap working at the airport and they decided that they were gonna take it out on you, this is for you guys.
Told me that I was going to be the one off-boarded, and then you moved me over. I told you I didn't want to move.
Then you could have gone off the plane.
Your boy Spankdog's back in effect, man. I missed y'all guys, man. Feels good to be back up, man. Like I said, man, you know, big shout out to Jeff Lewis, man. I know how you feel, brother. Get well soon.
I being moved, and then you started taking pictures of me because you were being threatened.
Because you're taking pictures of them.
I have to. This is not an invasion of privacy.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Hello?
Wow. Okay, that's fine.
How do you act like a child at that age? That's why I told you, like, you know, my anger got the best of me. I told you I might have flipped out if I was there, but that's not actually true. I've learned to be calm and use my words instead of my anger.
So thus far, Trisha has moved from guilt-tripping Charlotte to threatening her and making several excuses for the man who began this whole fiasco in the first place.
Listen to this.
But apparently, Trisha wasn't done. She's actually planning on getting Charlotte arrested as soon as the plane lands in LA.
If it does continue, we will have police in the airport and there will be further consequences. Just the like verbal abuse that's turned into another recording. So that's just what I'm getting. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you?
Look at this guy. Look how smug. You pick on a lady. You kick the back of a lady's seat until she has to tell you, yo, what's going on? And then you curse her and tell her relax or whatever, just chill, F off. That's if she's telling the truth, but I don't have any reason to not believe her. Look at his smug look. You know, it doesn't get me angry. It just lets me know who he is. Two imbeciles.
Oh, really? You want me and every other passenger on the plane to believe you do not know the name of your captain? And why is the crew laughing? What's funny in all of this? Now, lest I forget, when all of this began, Charlotte reached out to her husband to let him know the situation she was in right now. Okay, back to the cabin. Just before the plane lands, as if torture and threats weren't enough, the man in 2A decides the best place to sit while waiting to use the same restroom Charlotte was denied access to was right beside Charlotte.
For people who don't know what passive aggressive is, that's passive aggressive. He knows she's right there. He knows that it's angering her. He knows that they just had a problem and he's acting like he's not doing nothing. That's passive aggressive.
The plane eventually landed in LA and it's time for baggage claims. And just look at his face. It's screaming the aw.
Everybody's tough till they meet the uncles. He's real, look at him. He's real smug and tough till he meets the uncle.
I told you not to mess with me. I've got to say, I kind of feel sorry for his wife.
I feel sorry for her
to
too.
Endure this embarrassing behavior, and I think her expression agrees. So, of course, Charlotte posted this story on TikTok, and it went mega viral, which is expected. I mean, every part of this incident screams a possible racial
That's why I'm here to help. Let's hear that one more time. I'm here to do my part in helping this go viral.
Oh, I told you not to mess with me. I've got to say, I kind of feel sorry for his wife for having to endure this
what a bully.
Embarrassing behavior. And I think her expression...
She's embarrassed, the wife. You could tell she's embarrassed by his behavior.
Agrees. So, of course, Charlotte posted this story on TikTok, and it went mega viral, which is expected. I mean, every part of this incident screams a possible racial undertone, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But apparently, some users, especially on TikTok, have also experienced the same treatment on WestJet flights from the same flight attendant, Trisha.
I told you, yep, I'm telling you, people, you better behave yourself. All that treating people like crap and thinking you're going to get away with it. Not Not if you're being recorded. Not if people get that offended by the way you treated somebody. This is what happens. You know, I don't think she lost her job though. She should have though. You know, I'm not quick to say a person should have lost their job, because that's, you know, that's like saying somebody should have been thrown in jail. And I'm easy when you talk about taking a person's job, putting a person in a cell. But she definitely deserves some righteousness.
Same story. And of course, the same victim, people of color. I'm going to play these messages. Now, this is where TikTok investigators came in, because this man, his wife, even the attendant Trisha, have been found and identified thanks to this TikTok user.
Hey, Rene Bourgoin.
First of all, he's the man. Etch-a-sketch. Yeah, that's like Etch-a-sketch, but it's Etch-a-sketch. Well, God bless you, brother. Good work.
Thanks to this TikTok user.
Hey, Rene Bourgoin. This is you, right? Do you know what I find odd, Rene? Is that you were self-made in tech, or so I hear. I mean, even on your own page here on the long-form app, you posted a video of what seems to be a pretty large house. I mean, you remember the video that you posted online publicly because you wanted to show off your new drone.
He's funny.
And based off of all of these expensive hobbies that you have, you know, like all of these classic cars, I'm going to assume that you could have afforded to spend the extra $100 or $20 or so to sit in the first row to get that extra leg room. But
he got bread. He was too cheap to pay for leg room. But you got classic cars, drones, but you're too cheap to pay for your own leg space. So in turn, you start kicking an innocent woman's chair like a child, like a baby.
You chose not to and decided to take your frustration out instead on someone who did choose to spend their money on that extra legroom. But you want to know how I find out who you are, Rene? After watching this video, multiple people who have confirmed that they know Rene have reached out to either let me know that he's allegedly racist or allegedly. Also, that's what we call pattern of behavior. So yeah.
Well, there goes Rene, everybody. You know, cross the street when you see him. Or he might do some underhanded stuff. You know, well, at least his resume says so.
Right? I know it's a little bit hard to tell because clearly this photo was taken at least 10 to 15 years ago. Thank God for facial recognition. Not that it was needed, because clearly this is the same smile and the same lack of an upper lip. Oh, also, sorry, Trisha. I hope this video doesn't impede on your looking for work. Also, I know someone recognizes this man. Let me know.
So yeah, in the middle of all of this, it's honestly even sadder that WestJet hasn't done a thing about the situation. Viral did WestJet think to reach out to Charlotte, their actual customer? Nope, not until she hired an attorney who had to contact the airline to get the ball rolling, of course. At first, their team responded, but then they suddenly went silent, tossing out excuses like, the person responsible for this is on vacation on a remote island. Seriously? That's the story we're running with? A remote island? What's even worse,
I would never take WestJet after this, especially not if Trisha's the stewardess,
is how they handled the backlash on social media. Instead of addressing the incident, WestJet started deleting comments and turning them off completely. If you're being called out for mistreating a passenger, maybe don't make it worse by doubling down and trying to silence the people holding you accountable. Charlotte wasn't asking for much either. All she wanted was an apology, sensitivity training for the crew, and compensation she could donate to a nonprofit supporting Asian American and Canadian civil rights. But WestJet, they haven't delivered on any of it. When they did finally reach out,
that's fair. I don't think she was asking for much. Update: after all this time, WestJet finally reached out to me. No responsibility was taken. They refused to right this wrong. Instead, it appears the information I shared was not enough to warrant an apology, just an apology. They also would not comment on anything regarding Trisha and made it a point to mention that this has had a significant impact on all involved. Oh, we're supposed to feel sorry for, it has to be a multi-million-dollar company, you know, maybe tens of millions of dollars. It's an airline company.
They asked me to contact their social care team to speak to someone, to make me further prove anything when I have already provided footage, a full written statement, and an oral testimony is adding insult to injury. Makes me feel like they're trying to find something to pin on me instead, as if trying to heal from this traumatizing experience isn't hard enough. I am at a loss for words. Unfortunately, that's all there is to the WestJet story for now. Charlotte is still pushing for justice, which is why I felt it was my duty to raise awareness by any means I can and decided to piece this video together.
Yo, what's up, Brandon? How you doing, brother? All right, cool, man. You know, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling better than ever. I don't understand how it went that way. How does a person harass another person? The person actually is a better customer because they, not that spending more money automatically makes you a better customer, but she did purchase a more expensive seat. And then the other guy has classic cars, but he's too cheap to buy himself some leg room. And you catered to the cheapskate. And then the person that's willing to spend the extra dollar to get themselves some room and they don't mind giving your company money towards a more expensive seat, you treat them like trash. Shame on you, WestJet. It's your boy Spankdog. I'm out of here. Good to be back, people.